Well, this is the Philips 614 record player. It's a mains only affair, although the motor that drives the turntable and the innards all run on low voltage, like the 604 did from the 60s and 70s. I'd say this was probably made in the mid-70s. It looks have a sort of family resemblance to my N2211 cassette, and that's from the mid-70s. They've abandoned the old plug-in head shell on this for a cartridge which slides in, complete with the stylus. You cannot change the stylus on its own. When you need a new needle, you have to have the whole thing, and a bit of a rip-off really, isn't it? Because after all, it's only a ceramic cartridge and they don't usually give much trouble. But no, about the mid-70s onwards, dear old Philips went for this system. The good news is that you can do a tone arm transplant for the earlier design, because I did once, just to see if it would work, because I had a set given to me that had no tone arm. This one is a curious beast. It plays LPs, obviously, 45s and 78s by an idler drive system. It's got a very nice sound on it, actually. It does, I have to admit, sound nicer than the 604. Slider controls for both channels, and then up here for bass and treble. And quite a reasonable level of bass for something like this, which is unusual, isn't it? You've got a tracking adjustment control there on the tone arm. Some of the older plug-in head shell ones had this as well. Either a little lever that you slid back and forth, or sometimes a screw in the side. Not quite so obvious. This is a curious mixture of ancient and modern, though, this thing, because although the preamp on it consists of a microchip, the main amplification is done by the old germanium transistors. The AC 187 and 188 combination is still being used. Quite surprising that late in the 70s that they're still using that, because they were prone to give trouble. And this one's no exception. I had to tap the output transistors. I knew what they were the minute I saw the shape of the, oh Lord, here we go again. And after a lot of tapping and fiddling about, they both fired up. At first I had sound only on the left channel. Now, having got this to go again, you might think that's it. It's gonna, it'll just keep on going, but it won't, because the germanium transistor has a curious habit of developing hairs inside. I know, sounds bizarre, doesn't it? But it's an electrolytic thing, I should think. And what happens in the end is that it shorts out the junction. So no amplification, the thing ceases to work. Ah dear, yes. So, looks as if probably have to get two matched pairs, because both channels give trouble. The left, much less so, but the right wouldn't work at all, just completely mute, nothing whatsoever. So, dear, that's another one to do, isn't it? But at least I've got the units all fixed and sorted. Well, on the back of it is the usual connections. 5-pin DID plug for taping, of course, or feeding sound into it. It'll be necessary to have the turntable spinning to do it, just switch it on to use it as an amplifier. The speakers are 4-ohm 6-inch units with the classic octagonal Philips frame, just about visible through the back there. They do give reasonable sound, actually. You wonder what it would sound like perhaps with better speakers. Probably quite nice. It already sounds quite nice, so it'll probably sound very nice. And also there's a voltage selector on the back for 250, 220, 110, 127, I think it is. Shan't be worrying about anything except 250 in this country. The speakers plug in with 2-pin DID plugs, as was Philips' want. Anyway, see you again soon.